Hello, everyone. Welcome to another amazing episode of Inspired Action, where we dive into the most pressing leadership challenges and hope to inspire you to take a more coach-centered and people-focused approach to leadership. I'm your host, Kyle Pertuis, and it's time to get started with our three amazing guests for today. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Inspired Action. I'm Kyle Pertuis, your host. So before we get started, let me do a quick intro to who we have with us today. Deandra Wardell. Deandra is an accomplished executive coach and strategist whose passion lies in empowering individuals and organizations to achieve their highest potential. With over 30 years of expertise in executive coaching, continuous improvement, and global operation, she is now the founder of On to the Next One Consulting, certified as a minority and women-owned business enterprise, and specializes in helping organizations navigate change, foster innovation, and cultivate inclusive, high-performing cultures. Next up, Willam Coll. Throughout his extensive career ranging from general manager to vice president in sales and operations with organizations like Aramark, United Site Services, his peers have called him Willam a unicorn. He simply states that one common ground throughout his career has been investment in training and development of his teammates, identifying and building career paths, retaining great leaders, and having a successful team goal attainment as a result of this. And last but not least, Arin Bryan. Erin has a 14-plus year career as a human resource leader for various tech companies, from Redfin to Expedia and more, where she designed and facilitated employee programs worldwide. She's worked closely with CEOs and leaders to drive business results, improve talent and engagement processes, and create world-class employee experiences. Now, pursuing the entrepreneurial path, Erin is an independent consultant, leadership coach for Arin Bryan Consulting, and the business owner and founder of Awae Retreats, a wellness retreat company that offers travel and wellness experience all over the world. Got to know more about that here. So when the conversation starts to become heated, what are some of your personal strategies or techniques that you have found effective in trying to stay calm and composed? I know Erin tapped on the mindset piece, but when you start to feel the heart pumping a little bit more and somebody's maybe starting to come at you a little bit, or you start feeling like, oh, I've got to speak up or I'm going to lose this one, whatever it is, how do you handle that? What are some personal strategies and techniques? Let's go at Erin. I'll just pick back up.
Yeah.
We'll go in reverse order.
That sounds great. Okay. So the first thing I do is take a breath. It buys time, right? It buys you time. So especially if you're in a moment where you're caught off guard, okay? Because if you're going into a conversation that you know is tough, yes, you should prepare your points, prepare whatever research may be needed, and prepare yourself mentally to be in the best headspace. But if you're caught off guard, it's almost like you have to buy yourself time to get in the headspace. So literally taking a deep breath can help. It gives you that moment. And then I always ask myself, what am I feeling right now? It's just a way to get real with yourself. Like, am I being, led and driven right now by frustration, anger, so that I can check myself and say, hang on, that's not going to serve me or this person well right now. And just that little tiny quick exercise can help me get a little bit more regulated. So I go into it with a more open, calm mindset. But I'm curious what others have to say.
I love it. Instead of melting, you manage to fire it, right? Yeah, love it. Will, what would you add?
Once again, I go back to processes and efficiencies from an operations background. Another philosophy that we're talking about is change management, and that's what we're trying to get our teams on board. Whether it's a conflict, whether it's a customer, it's a teammate, we're trying to get people on board with making a change in direction that someone's uncomfortable with. And an old process to that, another acronym is ADKAR, ADKAR. And that's awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, and reinforcement. And if you can go through those steps with your team, what are we trying to accomplish? Are we aware of what the goals are? Do we have the desire to want to get there? Do we have the knowledge? Meaning, do we need training? Do we have to stop and get better at something in order to move forward? Do we then have the ability? Meaning, does our team and our resources have what we need to move forward? And then lastly, the reinforcement is what we're trying to accomplish, which is that first question in the beginning. What are we trying to accomplish with this conflict? What are we trying to resolve? So the reinforcement at the end just kind of talks about, remember, this is the goal, whether it's, whether it's the scorecard, whether it's the thermometer that goes up to get to your goal at the end. But the reinforcement is remember why we're here and why we're trying to do this together.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Deandra, what would you add?
So I want to take a few points from both Erin and Will, and I have to use an acronym because Will has been using them. Yes, I cannot be left out. So what I first have to do, it goes back to what Erin has been talking about with emotional intelligence, and just starting out with that self-awareness, checking in with where I am, listening to what thoughts immediately come to mind. How am I feeling? Is my heart racing? Am I ready to just start spewing facts and start a debate? And again, take that pause and center myself. The second thing that I do, and this all has to happen really quickly, is taking the time to recognize the humanity in that other individual. Regardless of titles or where we are in status, recognizing that that is another human being that I'm interacting with. And what's most important is that I honor that conversation in such a way that I recognize the humanity in that other person. And so really pausing to do that. And then going back and combining everything that's related to what I do, not only with working with partners and clients, but what I do in life. And that is thinking about the big picture, the strategy. Ultimately, what is it we're trying to accomplish? And more than likely, when someone is heated about something, I interpret that heatedness that's being experienced as passion. They are, really motivated. They're convicted about something. They want to ensure that they're being heard. So I want to take the time to listen. I also want to tie it into ultimately, what is the big picture? What is it we're trying to accomplish? What's connected to the strategy? What's connected with the big dream that we're all envisioning? And from that, I'll take it to the 4D improvement cycle. And that's something that my firm that we do with clients, it starts out with going back, what are we focusing on? What is that big picture? What is that dream? What is it we're trying to discover? And then from there, discern what is the priority? What is it that we're really trying to address? What opportunity is there in waiting? And then going through and understanding, well, what is the smallest step we can take? What is it that we can develop to really concentrate and pinpoint? And then how can we collaborate? How can we work together to do and get these things accomplished? And that's where that win-win-win I was talking about earlier comes into play. Like Will said, it's not about negotiation. It's about, being able to move forward and moving forward in such a way that's beneficial to both parties, myself and the other individual or group that's having the conversation. And then the third win goes back to the big picture. How are we getting closer to ultimately what is it that we dream, or what is it that we are aspire to accomplish? But it starts out with taking that pause, taking that beat to center myself and ensuring that the conversation ends in such a way that honors the humanity in the other person that I'm interacting with.
Yeah, love all of that. And in all the leadership development work we've done over the years, I've always said conflict is where leaders either show up or blow up, right? So I appreciate you guys so much for showing up. That's all the time we have. Just remember, when it comes to this topic, if you want to inspire performance, you have to model calm in chaos. And grace under pressure isn't soft, it's elite level leadership. Thank you guys for sharing your experience and your elite level leadership with us today. We look forward to the next episode. Thanks for joining us. Well, that's a wrap for another edition of Inspired Action, the Leadership Forecast. We're so grateful for our guests today and the impact they're making with the work they do. Be sure to check out our YouTube channel to watch the longer version of this episode, and be sure to like, comment, connect with, and follow me and each of our guests. You'll find all of our links in the caption of this video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in every Thursday at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern for new episodes.